It is 5 a.m. The streets are empty, the room is dark, and your phone is silent. For a brief moment, the world feels paused, and your life feels like it belongs entirely to you. This is the imagery of modern discipline. We are told that winners begin working while the rest of the world is still dreaming. The promise is simple. If you can defeat the alarm clock, you can defeat every other problem in your life. Historically, weekend before the sun was a matter of survival, not personal transformation. Farmers worked according to daylight, and laborers traveled long distances before their shifts began because they had no other choice. Industrialization turned the pre-dawn hours into a systemic mandate. For the working class, early rising was an economic compulsion required by the factory whistle, not a path to reaching their full potential. Today, that grueling requirement has been repackaged as a performance of ambition. We see it in carefully arranged desks and notebooks filled with goals. The messages that extraordinary people are already building their future while you sleep. If this specific hour is the secret to high-level achievement, we have to ask why so many people who adopt it end up mentally absent and irritable by the afternoon. Our obsession with 5 a.m. suggests something deeper than a desire for productivity. The alarm clock has become a psychological coping mechanism for a culture suffering from a total loss of control. We crave untouched beginnings to feel separated from past mistakes. At 5 a.m., the day contains every possibility. No argument has happened yet, no deadline missed. It creates the illusion that yesterday is erased. Beyond the environmental silence, we are also seeking what could be called a social vacuum. During normal hours, your attention is rarely your own. Messages, notifications, and an invisible list of responsibilities constantly pull at your mind. Before dawn, your social identity is quiet. You exist in a brief window where you are not yet an employee, a parent, or a person trying to meet everyone's expectations. This physical vacancy represents total freedom. At 5 a.m., you are allowed to be unavailable. The true appeal of the early morning is experiencing the only hour where nobody else owns your attention. We are searching for privacy from the versions of ourselves we perform for the world. When life feels unpredictable and overwhelming, routines become psychologically comforting. Predictability feels safe, and a pre-dawn routine gives you control over the beginning of your day. Drinking a glass of water, completing a morning workout, or reading 10 pages functions as a sequence of small victories. Every microtask completed provides evidence of personal agency, concrete proof that you can still direct your own life. But habits eventually solidify into the identity trap. A tool for productivity becomes a core personality trait you defend at any cost. Once 5 a.m. becomes your identity, discipline rots into a performance. Missing an alarm feels like a moral failure. We often copy the visible habits of successful people while ignoring their invisible circumstances. We adopt their alarm clock time but lack their support systems, their sleep patterns, or their access to resources. If fear of falling behind is the engine of self-improvement, no achievement will ever feel sufficient. There will always be someone waking earlier or appearing more focused. A routine that leaves you exhausted and miserable is no longer discipline. It is a performance driven by comparison. We need to reframe why people are pursuing extreme routines. They are likely not searching for more time or more success. They are desperately searching for mental space, self-respect, and the permission to exist without being watched. The ultimate goal is to understand what the hour of 5 a.m. functionally represents for you, rather than worshiping the hour itself. This psychological need for silence can be met in ways that fit your actual biology. Someone may find that same control at midnight, or by protecting a single hour after work. Understanding the need beneath the habit allows us to stop copying generic routines and begin designing a life that actually fits our own reality. We must confront why we feel compelled to wake up before the rest of the world just to feel that our lives belong to us. The 5 a.m. routine is a symptom of a much deeper struggle for autonomy.